I have a theory that this is based on Gale from DS3. Even now, the way he's hunched over his flower as Gale hunches over his meal, or the way Gale lumbers around on all fours in the sand. Surely it's got to be the same skeleton, like they took that and copied it over here to get a working point to start from. Anyway, we're going to look at HARDian Ape's moves. I'm going to slow down each one and see how to react. When he does this grab, you jump. That's it, no direction, nothing else, just jump. And his follow-up will miss, so that's no problem. Right here you could grapple, but who cares? And that grab is his most common move, so you'll see it a lot. That's a tricky one that gets people when he seems far away and then he goes in for a slap. But you just stay calm, deflect once. This combo is funny because if you're really close, if you're under his arm, it'll miss completely. You don't have to move at all or do anything. But if you're further out, you gotta deflect like I show here. This combo, similarly, is based on distance. He'll miss the first one if you're far out, and he'll miss the third one if you're close, but you might as well tap L1, no problem. At the end, it's kind of hard to deflect that last one, so I'll use the umbrella sometimes, and I'll show that later in the video. But as you can see, it's a lot of repeats. He's already done the grab 3 or 4 times. He's gonna miss a couple times. And the only thing we have to worry about is not getting stuck on the wall. You want to have some room behind you. Here's another common move, the tantrum, where he rolls around and you just tap deflect. If you try to get away, that's when it hits you. And of course, that's the theme in this whole fight. If you try to get away, that's when you get wrecked. Next, we're going to see another common combo, and this one I like to just deflect and move left. You can kind of get away from this backhand and this uppercut. However, it depends. Sometimes you have to move a little bit more, like here. Sometimes you can't get away, and you deflect all 3, like I'll show later. Again, this combo, you usually won't have to deflect, because if you're close, he'll just miss. He'll just swing over your head. But I'm trying to stay back in this video for camera purposes so you can see his whole body. I never really get much advantage from the grapple thing, so I'm not doing it here. Next we have the fart plus throw, and you can literally walk any direction to escape the cloud and then walk forward a little bit so that you're close enough to be unreachable. The throw will go way past you. And then of course you can hit him. The same combo. You see I didn't deflect that 3rd hit because I knew I was close enough. He was gonna miss me. Now we'll start hitting him a little more. When he does the grab, you can hit him twice on the up and on the down. And of course you can throw in combat arts or whatever you want. There is a time when I was too far to the right and I couldn't walk out of the way. So I just deflected all 3. And it's annoying because you're getting knocked back a little bit and you can't hit him. But you'll see later I do something to alleviate that. So now I'm going to start using the umbrella, which is useful in a couple ways. You can do some tricky deflects right there, hit him back with projected force. It prevents you from getting knocked back at all, which is great. And it has a wider window of deflect frames for any moves that you have a hard time with. You can also use it on this tantrum and land right in the middle to hit him a bunch of times, which is likely to stagger him, as it does here. This fails when you're against the wall, by the way, so don't do it against the wall. Don't do anything against the wall. Just take a few steps back. Then when you stagger him after doing a certain amount of damage, he's going to come with his big jumping grab that people love to complain about. And the easiest way to handle it is umbrella. I'll show another way in a minute, but umbrella deflects all grabs that aren't sweep grab combos, and then you don't have to worry about hitboxes or anything like that. In fact, you want the hitbox to touch you, so you can deflect it. Here's the same thing we saw earlier. Very easy to just walk a little bit in any direction. Right there, I thought he was going to hit me in the back, so I tapped the dodge button to get a little iframe, because you can't deflect when something hits you in the back. And speaking of iframes, we're going to see another example in just a second. That's another good way to handle his grab, his jumping grab. You just tap circle. No direction. Okay, if you try to direct Sekiro's dodge and you go diagonal like a Bloodborne player, well, you get fewer iframes and it's going to be a lot harder. If you try to go backwards, you get, I think, none, or maybe some tiny amount. And now I didn't umbrella that tantrum because I don't want to kill him. I want to show a few more things. He probably has a full posture bar right now, but you can't kill him with the deflect. Even if the posture's full, you have to hit him once. Unlike phase 2, we can kill phase 2 with the deflect. The only thing, I guess, Demon of Hatred, the only other guy like that. That's another example of the iframes right there. I just wanted to show it in case people don't believe me. You just, boom, tap circle button when he's reasonably close to landing. And now we'll go ahead and kill him and go to phase 2, which is a lot simpler. You can tell they spent way more time on Ape phase 1 than pretty much anything except Genichiro. Now, when he gets up, he's likely to scream, and I'm going to use the umbrella. It's very simple. It has pretty much no issue of timing. You can do it a lot earlier than I did, and that's fine. I just think it's cool to wait. And then you can even let go a bit earlier than I did. Do a little projected force if you like. Then he goes into combo, but he misses and then gives up. Then that makes him quicker to the big move, which is what we want to deflect. Switch to a spear, pull out the centipede. If you want to never hit him outside of that, just never worry about R1, you'd be fine, because the spear centipede move takes a good chunk of health and posture, and it happens often enough that he's not going to recover in between. The thing with the Scream is I don't like caring about hitboxes. I don't like caring about the edge of the AoE, so it's easier to umbrella. But if you do run forward, lock off and then run forward, because it has a smaller extent that way. By the way, this combo is the most common one that's going to lead to the big fall move. And I mess up. There's a bad deflect in here. Right there. I timed that too early, got knocked back, and it would have hurt me if it was on Charmless. And you'll see the next time I do it right, but it's not a big deal. Again, I'm going to pop the umbrella. The other ways you can handle this would be hitting him with a Mortal Draw to interrupt it, or just tanking the screen. There's a famous blindfolded Sekiro run on GDQ by Mitras where he takes Divine Confetti and some kind of attack buff and Pacifying Agent, because reducing the scream's effect by cutting through it with Confetti and reducing your terror with the Pacifying Agent means you can just stand there and hit him all day, have a lot of success. I really have just been doing Mortal Journey challenges, so I think about canceling it with Mortal Draw above anything else, and that's totally fine if you have enough emblems. Now, my overall thoughts on the fight are, first of all, I'm sad that people don't like him. I always hear this idea that Sekiro's about deflects and you can't deflect Ape, therefore Ape is a bad boss. But as I've shown, of course, you can deflect, but the difference is the thing that makes him feel out of place to some people is that he doesn't deflect you, right? When you're fighting Genichiro, which a lot of people did right before this, you get into the pattern of spam R1 until he deflects, and then you spam L1, right? And if you try that against Ape, you'll spam R1 until you get smushed, because he never gives you that cue, whether you're looking for the spark or you're listening for the sound, he never gives you that cue to stop spamming. So you have to have a little self-control, and that's fine, whatever. It also makes it easy to do one of these videos in that style, because I was holding back from attacking, and against Genichiro, that would lead to him doing weird stuff that he would never do in a normal fight. But against Ape, he's doing his normal moves because he doesn't have those counter hits anyway, right? So overall, I hope people see this and they realize that you can just walk forward, have fun, and stop whining.